Okay, so when you hear the name Strait of Hormuz, what immediately pops into your head? I'm guessing it's military ships, global tensions, oil, right? It's a name that honestly makes world powers a little tense. But what if I told you that's only half the story? Seriously, because beneath all those headlines, there's another world entirely. So let's dive in and explore both.
First up, let's talk about the world we all think we know. This number, 21 million. This is why the strait is so famous. That's how many barrels of crude oil squeeze through this incredibly narrow waterway every single day. The stakes are just immense.
And this quote from our source material just nails it. It's not just some shipping lane, it is the main artery of the entire global economy. Think about that. Any disruption here isn't a small problem. It's like the whole system having a stroke. And that's not being dramatic. It's the geopolitical reality that literally keeps world leaders up at night.
So yeah, that brings us to the first world of Hormuz, the one we see in the news. The high-stakes waterway, the global choke point.
And this chart really puts that number into perspective. I mean, look at that. Those 21 million barrels a day, that's over 20% of the world's total oil consumption. And it's a staggering 1/3 of all the oil that gets moved by sea. For a lot of big economies, especially over in Asia, getting oil from here isn't a choice. It's just a geographical fact of life.
Because the stakes are so ridiculously high, the region almost never sees true peace. Instead, it just kind of exists in this constant state of what experts call gray zone warfare. It's this tense, simmering conflict that never quite boils over into a real war, but it never really ends either. Just a perpetual standoff.
Okay, and this is where our story takes a really cool turn. Because if you could just for a minute set aside all the military hardware, the political drama, and the giant oil tankers, what's actually there? This is the Hormuz you never ever see on the news.
So welcome to the second world of Hormuz, a completely hidden geological wonderland where you have these islands made of rock, salt, and, well, rainbows.
For example, check out Hormuz Island. It's nicknamed the Rainbow Island for a pretty good reason. In just 42 square kilometers, geologists have found over 70 different kinds of minerals, and they paint the whole landscape in these incredible shades of red, yellow, purple, and blue.
The absolute crown jewel has to be the red beach. The soil here is so full of iron oxide that the sand is this deep blood red color. And get this, when the waves wash ashore, they dissolve some of that red dust, making the water itself look red. Locals actually use the earth as a spice in their food, and women use it as a cosmetic. How cool is that?
And it's not just nature that's colorful. The architecture is just as unique. I mean, look at the Majara residence. It's a hotel that looks less like a building and more like someone just spilled a giant bag of Skittles. And it was built by the local community using the island's own soil, designed to blend right into that rainbow landscape.
Right nearby is another spot, Qeshm Island, and it's home to a place called Star Valley. Local legend says a star literally fell from the sky right here, and the impact created this completely otherworldly landscape of bizarre rock pillars and canyons. Now, geologically, we know it was formed by wind and rain, but what's so amazing is that it's a living piece of art. Every single rainstorm subtly changes its shape.
And the surreal landscapes just keep coming. In a place called Chabahar, you find what they call the Martian Mountains. It's miles and miles of these jagged gray ridges with absolutely no trees, all carved by the wind into something that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
But you know, this hidden world isn't just about incredible rocks. Let's talk about the unique life and culture that have somehow managed to flourish for centuries right in the shadow of this global choke point.
So this is the Musandam Peninsula. People actually call it the Norway of the Middle East. But forget any image you have of Norwegian fjords with all that lush greenery. These are stark, dramatic canyons of sun-scorched limestone that just plunge straight into this deep blue water. It is an absolutely breathtaking landscape.
And here's a fantastic bit of trivia for you. Deep inside these fjords, there's a little place called Telegraph Island. Way back in the day, the British ran a communication station there. Apparently, the isolation and the heat were so intense that the officers stationed there were said to go mad. And that's where we get the phrase, going around the bend. It refers to the curve of the fjord that cut them off from the rest of the world. Wild, right?
And a deeply resilient human culture thrives here, too. I mean, in one remote village, they speak Kumsari, a language that was literally created from words left behind by centuries of sailors just passing through. They practice something called Lenji shipbuilding. It's a UNESCO-recognized craft of building these massive wooden ships completely by hand with no blueprints. And women wear these intricate masks called Bork masks, which actually signify their marital status and where they're from.
The wonders aren't all on land either. Just a short boat ride away is Qeshm Island, which is basically a peaceful kingdom of dolphins. We're talking hundreds of them, just swimming and playing freely in the water. It's such a powerful and beautiful contrast. You have this wild, joyful nature thriving right next to one of the most heavily fortified waterways on the entire planet.
So, what do we do with this? We have these two completely different worlds existing in the exact same physical space. You have the world of conflict and the world of beauty. How do we make sense of them together?
Well, one observation from our source material really captures this perfectly. It describes the view from the cliffs as a stark contrast between the eternal beauty of nature and the fleeting nature of human conflict. I think that just says it all.
And that brings us to our final question. We always ask what would happen to oil prices if Hormuz were to be closed, but maybe we're asking the wrong question. If the gates of Hormuz close, what does the world truly lose? It's not just about energy. It's a world of impossible beauty, of ancient culture, and a really profound piece of our planet's story.